January 26th, game against the Clippers, there was increased betting interest on the under for a Jontay Porter prop bet. And the line there for this prop bet set around 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, also an over-under for made three-pointers, which was 0.5.
We have to discuss this.
One bettor made a 6-play parlay on Jontay unders for $80,000 and won $1.1 million. Well, in the new CBA, the rule says any player who directly or indirectly wagers money or anything of value on any game shall be subject to a penalty. The penalty for such offense shall be within the absolute and sole discretion of the commissioner, may include a fine, suspension, expulsion, and or perpetual disqualification.
The Toronto Raptors' Jontay Porter may never play another second in the NBA again.
There isn't any certainty that Jontay Porter actually made a wager himself. What there is a lot of circumstantial evidence and suspicious activity. Primarily because, as you can imagine, as a player who's on a two-way contract, while there are betting options offered on players like Jontay in games, it's very unusual to see much volume. And what raised the casino's alarms here and eventually was passed on to the NBA and led the NBA to launch an investigation was on the same night that Jontay Porter had a very increased amount of betting on his prop bets, way higher than you would have for any normal game. Twice in the last 2 months, the same nights those happened, he exited the games with previously not on the injury report illnesses and injuries.
The suspicions were there, and now it feels as though the hammer may be coming down. Via the Action News Network's Chase Howell, Porter owned and operated a VIP account at FanDuel in Colorado that wagered millions. From 2021 to 2023, multiple sources with direct knowledge told his network. Howell's report would read, one of those sources said FanDuel did not accept any wagers on the NBA or collegiate basketball from Jontay Porter, whose brother is Michael Porter Jr. Porter allegedly placed over 1,000 wagers at the sportsbook. A source would say he was firing all of the time.
Since a 2018 Supreme Court ruling cleared the way for legal sports gambling, 39 states have or are about to legalize it. So last year, Americans bet more than, listen to this number, $93 billion with a B on sports. Wow. For reference, the NFL reported its revenue as $12 billion last year.
It's in the broadcast where it seems that the broadcast is built for people to gamble. Like, it's one thing if we're playing a game on television or we're watching it and they're letting you know, hey, you can do this, hey, if you want to gamble or whatever. But the crux of the broadcast now seems more and more geared toward making people gamble than it is talking about the games. And I contend that none of us got into sports because we wanted to gamble. It might have been something that you found after the fact, but I feel like we're losing the plot in the direction that we're going in with the way that we're presenting sports as a reason to gamble, as opposed to the gambling as something to do while you watch the sport.
Now, look, this is something that I discussed a while back, and I feel like as an industry in sports, we are flying way too close to the sun here, because you have many figures who have disposable income from coaches, players, team personnel, refs, anyone and everybody in between. And when you have that disposable income, you think, well, how can I just double it? How can I add on more? In turn, there is a sense of control with all of these, you can call them major players, but we'll just say some players to major players who could potentially, pardon the pun, have skin in the game. Because they see it as having direct influence on something that they likely feel is going to cash out. There's way too many conflicts of interest here. And this is a problem that many sports leagues have to tackle. Because if they don't, we're going to continue seeing this over and over again.
This was bound to happen. Not only bound to happen, but is happening, right? I mean, so it's not even that one day it's going to rain. It has been raining.
Yes.
Let's not forget Iowa State. Let's not forget the Lions. Let's not forget Calvin Ridley. Brian Bohannon down at Alabama, the baseball coach. It has been raining. We just didn't get the monsoon that we got with Ohtani.
Kudos to the GOAT, Howard Bryant. Now from ESPN and Sports Illustrated. The NBA confirmed on March the 25th that it was investigating 2 instances of gambling irregularities related to Jontay Porter. In games, this is important, on March 20th and January 26th, Jontay played sparingly before exiting with an eye injury. In the January game, he played just over 4 minutes before departing to what the team said was an eye injury he suffered 4 days earlier. In the March game, he played under 3 minutes before leaving with an illness. In both instances, there was increased interest in betting the under on his prop bets. That's according to ESPN. As we stated previously, Jontay Porter, the younger brother of Michael Porter Jr., something that we saw in multiple reports is that he is a VIP with FanDuel. Vice News had a really interesting interview with a source of theirs when it comes to being a VIP.
Customers would be categorized based on their profitability. So if a customer lost millions of dollars, they would be labeled a VIP, and only the best staff would talk to them. But if you were a problem customer, that meant that you were winning money. So you'd be labeled with a big badge that said that you're a problem, and that needs to be dealt with.
Vice News did extraordinary work interviewing a betting company supervisor who spoke on condition of anonymity. Of note, in states where sports gambling is legal, NBA rules prohibit players from betting on the league or its other properties, such as the W or the G League. Players are allowed to bet on other sports. Fantasy basketball can be played as long as there is no cash prize. Can we just hang on a second? They're not going to know if there's any cash prize unless someone in that 12-team or 10-team or 14-team league squeals. You have to be naive to think that they're not playing for money, or if there is a bet on the line or first place gets something. I mean, come on, let's not be stupid here. Furthermore, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver would say there's nothing more serious, I think, around this league when it comes to gambling and betting on our games, and that is a direct player involvement. So the investigation is ongoing, but the consequences could be very severe. It has been brought to my attention and many others that with Silver, he is taking a very strong approach with Jontay Porter and players potentially betting on games, yet he's not doing the same. That's my kid crying. And he is not doing the same when it comes to other serious issues, like the Miles Bridges issue, like DV, where a player could come back and the evidence, in my view, is clear as day. So what say you? Meet me in the comments section. We'll discuss it there. If there are any stories we missed, if there are any that you, the viewer, would like to submit, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Support the channel. All of our content is free. It's the least you could do. Become a paid channel member or go to tyt.com/join to support the network as a whole. Thank you so much. Have a great day.